Wild Bill Hickok was his name, shot from the hip without a taken aim. Indians, outlaws, rebels bare were shot by the man with the shoulder-length hair.
Well, I'm the man. I'm Hickok. James Butler Hickok, though most folks do call me Wild Bill. So I can tell you without fear of contradiction that most of those stories you've heard about me are exaggerations. Some are outright lies, and all have come out of my mouth at least a time or two. For you see, you kind folks, you pay your admission. I don't want to disappoint you. I want to give you what you've come to expect, what you think you already know about me. Trouble is, I've been trapped here, doing that, for nigh on to 140 years, and I am plumb done in. Then they were done with all the talk, and they made to take this boy over to a good stout-looking branch. Well, I put myself between that mob and their destination, and I said, you will not hang this boy without a trial. A couple of them made a move on me, and I put two right past them. So close to them, I could see their expressions change when those balls went whizzing past their ears, as there were no other challenges. That was the end of that lynching. And as I was walking back to the saloon, taking many slaps on my back from the more decent citizens, who, by the way, had stayed indoors with their noses pressed against windows until all was settled. And there was a girl in the crowd there, and she yelled out, "Hey, Bill, ain't you a wild one?" Yeah, people started calling me Wild Bill. Just stuck. Well, I guess I didn't mind it much, though. I guess that was kind of wild, me just jumping into the fray that way, but you see, I don't like bullies. Not by themselves or by the bunch. Respect. It's all about respect. A deep-seated, sobering respect, one that does not get washed away with the application of liquor or bravado. That's when I needed to handle 5,000 whiskey-soaked Texas drovers with just me and a couple of deputies to do it, and that's what I had. So if a man wanted to bleed my reputation, that I killed 100 men blazing away with my Colts, that I never backed down, and once in a fracas, I always come out on top, I was not going to dissuade him of that notion. So if I was in a saloon having a taste, or at the gaming tables, or in a sporting house, and somebody started one of those conversations that begin with, "Mr. Hickok, is it true?" Well, hell, I usually just went along with whatever feat of dare and do had been assigned me. And if people needed reminding, a show of my shooting skill usually served me and my reputation well. So if someone wanted to see me as an avenging angel doing God's own work, or as a drunken debaucher with a hair-trigger set of Colts and a badge, I didn't much care. And so the peace was kept in Abilene. And the only trouble I ever had was trouble I brought on myself, with whiskey, women, and cards all apart. And my eyes. My eyes have begun to bother me greatly. Without warning, I'd get these fearsome headaches. My eyes would go all blurry. This is not a good situation for a man of my reputation, making his living behind a badge. It was right then, for the first time I really saw Jack McCall's eyes. They were green, like spring wheat, like a tonic bottle, and shot through with flecks of gold. They put me to mind of Miss Martha Edwards. I thought of my mother and my sisters and my brothers, my father, and all that flat land I wanted so bad to be away from. Oh, how I yearned to be back there now. All these powerful thoughts passed through me in an instant. When I came out of my reverie, I was still looking at Jack McCall's eyes, but these were not the eyes of Martha Edwards. These were not kind and gentle. Oh, they were green and glittering, all right. And just as crazy a pair of eyes as I'd ever seen. And in that next moment, something passed between Jack McCall and me. Something that felt like an agreement. All right, Jack, says I. You go on now, and you think about this. Charlie Utter had heard all this. He leaned in and whispered in my ear, "I'd watch that one if I was you, Bill."
To get on the Wild and Willie mailing list, just send me an email to the address below, and I'll make sure you're notified of all my appearances, comedy dates, everything. Wild and Willie.